Once again, I will give a short introduction about myself. I am Sravanthi Karapu, and I will take administration. Today, we are going to discuss the topic called comparative public public administration, which is from the second semester, first year syllabus. So I will quickly share my screen with my PPT. Just a minute. Is my PPT visible to all of you? Is it visible? Can I get a report? I hope I'm clear now.
Yeah, yes, ma'am. It is clear. Hello.
Yes. Oh, so yes. Ma'am, am I good to go? Can anybody please reply me? Okay. So let's quickly get into the topic without much delay. So today, this comparative public administration, let us look into the topic. So first word, actually, when we see this, the title itself, we could see with two different words. One is comparative, one is public administration. So we have to see the word public administration combinedly. So when we understand with the word comparative, that means we are trying to compare. What are we trying to compare? We are trying to compare the administrative systems of the different countries. So we are comparing the administrative system of one country with the other country. So this is, in simple terms, this is called comparative public administration. So if you look into the screen, it is clearly visible that comparative public administration is defined on the study of demonstrative system in a comparative fashion, or study of public administration in other countries. And also there is another definition of public administration. So it is very, very simple, very, very clear. We are comparing the public administrative systems of different countries. And also we are very much, very well known with the fact that in the year 1887, approximately 1887, the emerged as a separate individual or independent discipline. So as we know that public administration is too young in discipline. So in the year 1887, the public administration has emerged as a new independent discipline. But between 1940s to 1960s, there emerged different changes. There emerged different changes in the public administration. So what are those changes? What are the different changes that we can observe? It is nothing but new public administration. It is comparative public administration and development administration. So here, between 1940s to 1960s, there emerged new changes, we can say. So those are new public administration the comparative public administration and the development administration. So today we are looking into the development administration. I'm sorry, I'm very much sorry. Just give me a minute. Okay, so today, I'm extremely sorry. Today we are going to see about the comparative public administration. So as I told you, we are comparing the administrative systems of the different countries, right? So let us know why comparative public administration, why or what is the need for us to know what is this comparative administration. And when we are reading or when we are discussing about this concept, first and foremost, we need to think about the famous thinker called F.W. Riggs or Fred W. Riggs. Who is F.W. Riggs? Shortly called F.W. Riggs or Fred Riggs. Who is this person? And what role he has played in this comparative administration. So let us look into that. As I told you, in the 1940s to 1960s, there emerged few countries like, they became the independent countries freed from colonization. So there are certain countries like Asia countries and African countries. So here, when we are trying to understand comparative public administration, from the beginning, there existed the development countries or the developed countries, I can say, developed countries and also developing countries. So in this between the age or in between the years of 1940s to 1916, as I told you, there emerged the independent countries. Independent countries are nothing but the emerging or the developing countries. So they are the newly developing countries. So these developing countries, as we know anything before the start. Am I audible? I hope I'm clear. Can anybody give me a reply? Okay, fine. That's fantastic. So what was I telling you? So there emerged the independent countries. They were freed from the colonization. So whenever there is a beginning, see, for every developing country, I'm focusing again, it is not developed, developing countries. Every developing countries will have certain problems faced in the beginning and still they will be facing in the process. So there emerged a few problems in the beginning. Let it be the problems of infrastructure or unemployment or no proper education or health or you name it, and there are n number of problems faced by the developing countries. So as developing countries are facing a lot of problems, as I told you, as I listed, under developing countries, I can give you a list of few countries like India, Pakistan, Bangladesh, and also you can also name some of the developing countries in at that period of 1940s to 1916 in between. So you can just give me the names. So in that way, there are so many problems faced by the developing countries. So, and this comparative public administration gave a very, very good stand for us to understand the area of study. It is very important or it is a very significant area of study in public administration. We need to understand the different settings or different administrative setups. So by doing comparison, it's quite natural, quite basic in our day-to-day life that when we compare, we will get to know what are our flaws, and what are our advantages. So we will both get to know what are the advantages and advantages. So comparison always has two aspects. One is the negative one and the positive one. So if negative aspects are there, we will get the chance to correct it. So in the same way, at the beginning, immediately after emergence of the public administration, this concept of comparative public administration has emerged. So by this, it helps us in understanding administrative setups and their functioning in various settings and societies. I think some technical problems are there. I think again I need to start it. Did I get disconnected? Am I audible? Am I audible? Can you hear the technical? Was it clear? Oh my god, I'm trying the best from my side. I'm just trying again. Just a second, just bear with me for a minute. Bye bye. Just a second, I'm trying to share the PPT, but I don't know. I'm there with the best internet problem. Just sorry for the inconvenience. Okay, I will try with just the explanation part, and soon I will share the PPT. So where was I? I was talking about the developing countries. So now I hope I'm audible at least.
Hello.
Okay, sorry. So let us at least discuss the topic. So I was talking about the developing areas, developing countries, and the problems they face. They face a lot of problems with the low infrastructure and no education, proper unemployment, and no proper health, and there is no sanitation, and you can imagine when something is at an initial stage, so that will immediately have so many problems along with that. So if we understand this, what actually the concept of comparative public administration is, we are trying to compare the developed countries with the developing countries. So I'll just give you an example, and I will also try to illustrate this concept through an example. So these underdeveloped or developing countries like Asian countries and the African countries, they wanted certain solution to their problems. Whatever problems I have listed you for an example, they wanted solution to the problem. Along with that, also they need a certain development. They wanted their development, the countries, underdeveloped countries, from moving to poor to the developed. So as a part of this, nobody in the initial stages can never be developed. So for them, they need certain helping hands, or they need certain funds to be developed, or for them, the aid should be given for them to move from the position of poor to the position of developed. So in such a way, there is this developed country called United States of America, very well known, called USA. So here, if you can understand, the developing countries need certain aid and fund. So the most developed and very well-known country, the United States of America, has started funding the developing countries. So it started giving out the funds. And I will try to give you an example with this. Yes, I got an answer from the chat box. Yes, USA and Russian too. Yes, Russian too. So the West is helping the East. So the USA is helping the Asian countries. The European Union is helping the European countries are helping the European Union are helping the African countries. So in that way, yes, India also. So in that way, I'll just give you an example. For example, there are two brothers who are preparing for Union Public Service Commission. As you all know, you all are very much familiar with UPSC now, as it is very famous. So two brothers wanted to clear UPSC. I'm just getting into the concept, like how can we understand this, or what can be the benefits? Yes, introduction part itself. I hope I cleared your doubt. Let me tell you yes. Okay, Layashri, yes, thank you. So I'll just illustrate, like I'm just trying to explain you with the comparison, what sort of benefits will be there, and how this new approach to the study of public administration will benefit, how better we can make our administrative systems. So through this, I would like to illustrate with an example. So it is simple that two brothers wanted to prepare for UPSC, that is the Union Public Commission. one brother has clearly, with so much of hard work and so much of efforts, he has cleared the UPSC and became an administrative officer. I'm just giving you an example so that through this we can understand the concept. So the has clearly, successfully has cracked the position, and he's right now as an administrative officer. Think, for example, now his younger brother also wanted to clear the UPSC. So the elder brother wanted to help the younger brother by giving out some funds, around 20,000 rupees per month. So the elder brother also has stretched his hand out to the younger brother so that it would help him, and also he would also come to the same level of the elder brother. So he started the coaching. The second brother, the younger brother, has started the coaching. He has started preparation, and he has got all the material. But 3 years have passed away. But even after 3 years also, the younger brother couldn't cope up to the level of the elder brother. The younger brother couldn't crack the UPSC. The elder brother was wondering why. I've been paying So I was telling you, younger brother couldn't. Okay. So this elder brother wanted to find out that why my younger brother is not able to get it. So the older brother who was helping out in funds wanted to approach the institution of the younger brother. The older brother wanted to approach the institute where the younger brother was preparing, and why he couldn't cope up with all the preparation. When the elder brother is able to cope up, why not the younger brother? So immediately he has gone to the institution and asked what and where the problem was gone. So they understood that he was not able to just go with the procedures like how the elder brother has done, and they wanted to know, or he wanted to know what or where it went wrong, why the younger brother is unable to cope up with the entire system or the entire examination process. So I just wanted to try to tell you all this example. I hope I'm clear. Can I get a yes? Can I get a yes in the chat box? Okay, thank you. Thank you so much. So I tried to tell that Now, as I told you, the Western countries or the developed countries, they are trying to fund the developing countries. Like, as I told you, as you have given me the examples, like the Western countries are helping the Eastern countries, and the European Union is helping out the African countries, and the USA and Russians are helping the Asian countries. So in that way, even after funding or even after stretching out their hands, why they wanted to understand, or this is where at this appointed, or they, you can say, they have created a committee called CAG, called CAG, you can call it short form. CAG is nothing but I mean to say, the funded countries or the developed countries did not understand where the problem was. So they formed this group called Comparative Administrative Group, where in this group, it is headed by, or it was headed by, F.W. Riggs, whom I have mentioned earlier at the starting of my class. So F.W. Riggs is the chairperson of the CAG, that is the Comparative Administrative Group. So this group is nothing but, it is meant only even after the developed countries helping the developing countries, where is the problem going on? Where is the, why are they unable to cope up with, or why are they not coming to the reach of the developed countries? So this CAG, which was headed by F.W. Riggs, is going to help out to understand what were the different administrative problems of the developing countries. So once again, just give me a minute. I will try to share my PPT. Just a minute, just bear with me. I hope you can see now.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much. So as we missed the flow from the PPT, so I would like to tell you once again the background of this comparative public administration. So just see this. I think somebody else is also sharing the screen. So I request them, please don't share the screen. So just look at the screen. When you can see the background of this, comparative public administration started off as a topic interest. Then, before we mentioning about F.W. Riggs, we need to mention about the Woodrow Wilson also. So it was the first who started, or we can technically called Woodrow Wilson was the first comparativist, I'm sorry. So we can call him technically as the first comparativist when he mentioned about this concept in his essay. He widely started in order to know our country's administration, what issues we need to compare. Yes, I've got a doubt from Srija. Yes, Srija, Riggs is the person who pays for ecological approach also. Yes, you're perfectly right. So we'll go till there. So I'm just talking about the background where I was unfortunately couldn't show you the slides of the PPT. So I'm just going back. And he started that administration is the most safe prospect of comparative studies, as administrative techniques and procedures are similar almost everywhere. So, yeah, I was about to tell you that RIGS, as I told you, this association, which was clearly started or headed by RIGS, FW RIGS, he has clearly said that he wanted to observe what were the flaws or where things went wrong. So he started comparing, and he has given certain approaches, like you mentioned, man, like you said, that ecological approach. Ecological approach So to understand these concepts, Riggs has clearly found certain approaches, like the very famous approach, which is called ecological approaches. Like I'm trying to say that while we are comparing one administrative system, while we are comparing one administrative setting to the other, here we can clearly understand, or the FW Riggs has given the few approaches. One of the famous approaches, ecological approaches. This approach, I can tell you that administrative setting is influenced by its surroundings. Ecological, by the word ecological, we can understand that it is called as environment or the surroundings. So the ecological approach is nothing but the administrative settings will be affected by its surroundings. For example, I will also try to give you an example. Yes, exactly, by its environment. So I'll give you a small example. For example, there is an IAS officer who is appointed as a district magistrate, or you not IAS exactly, just take district magistrate of Delhi. Delhi is one such sophisticated city, or we can call it as developed city. So the magistrate or the district magistrate who is appointed in the Delhi, which is developed city, his surroundings or his administrative setup will be different when we compare the district magistrate who is appointed in Dandewada, you can take, for example, which is more, which is more highlighted with the Naxals area, the Naxalite thing. So when this area, when you compare the administrative ruling or administrative type of approach or administrative type of setting, when you compare with Delhi with the Naxalite area, when you compare the Delhi with the other undeveloping or underdeveloping city, there will be a difference. The district magistrate ruling the city, the sophisticated city, would be entirely different when comparing to the other district magistrate when he is trying to rule in the Naxalite dominated area, or as I gave you example of Dandewada. So in that areas, it will be very, very difficult. So the approaches will be different. So what I try to say is that the surroundings will impact a lot. The surroundings or the environment will be impacted a lot. So this was one sort of approach where FW Riggs has introduced us. So he said that from the beginning, when I'm trying to say that we are trying to compare the developing countries' administrative systems with the developed countries' administrative systems, these all factors will affect. So all these factors, keeping all these factors in mind or all these aspects in mind, we need to compare. We cannot just compare all the aspects. There are certain approaches, there are certain ways, or there are certain, you can say there are certain routes or where we can try to understand the problems. Where are we going wrong? Where is the administrative setup is going wrong? So in that way, this ecological approach is one different approach which was given by F.W. Riggs. And after this approach, there is one more important or famous approach, as you all must be well known or familiar with. It is called structural functional approach. I hope you remember this. Am I clear with the ecological approach? Can I get an yes in the chat box? Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. So next, we are going into the structural functional approach. I hope by the word itself, it is very clear to know that structural functional there are certain structures, there are certain fixed structures of the administrative systems which will affect the functioning. There are certain, yes. So when we talk about the structural functional approach, in this structural functional approach, previously it is compared as, the ideographic to normatic. That means previously it was compared with India and India, but later on it is compared with India to the UK. So in that way, the structures of the administrative systems are also considered, should be taken into picture. So by changing these structures also, the function will affect. And also, along with this approach, F.W. Riggs has clearly given his ideal models. I hope you know that. The ideal models, I'm extremely sorry I couldn't share the PPT because of some internet problems, but I'll try to explain as much as I can. So these three approaches which were given by the F.W. Riggs, one was ecological approach and the structural functional approach, and third one is the ideal models. Under these ideal models, okay, thank you so much. Thank you so much for the, I hope I'm audible, as there is one message I received that my voice is not coming. Even now there is a problem. Is still there a problem? Am I clear now? Is it clear and audible? Okay, thank you. Yes, I got an answer. So under this ideal models, yes, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Under this ideal models of F.W. Riggs, the first important model that comes into our mind is agraria, transitia, and industria. Agraria, transitia, industria. Under this agraria, transitia, industria, so first let us look at the word called agraria. Yes, absolutely, you're right. Fused, I'm about to go to there. Fused, prismatic, and diffracted models, yes. Sorry, somebody are asking, what are those names? Okay, please wait. These are the models and the approaches which F.W. Riggs has given me. So this agraria, transitia, industria, agraria is nothing but, agraria is the developing areas where agriculture economy is more dominant, and industria is industrial sector dominant. Yes, underdeveloped, developing, and developed countries. You're right. You're absolutely right, Srija. So as we know that there are three categories: underdeveloped, developed, and developing. So let me explain you with this fused prismatic model so that we can easily understand the agraria industria transition, how it has shifted there. So this fused prismatic model, I could have shared the PPT. I had a very good picture, but unfortunately I couldn't. So in that, imagine there is a prism. Imagine there is a prism, and when the sun rays or when the light ray is passing through the prism, it will be diffracted or diffracted with n number of multiple rays. So if you can imagine the simple image of prism, so when a light ray passes through the prism, it diffracts with entire, so many multiple rays. So it is nothing but the single ray that is called as fused. That means fused is nothing but it represents the poor or developing countries, whereas the prism is a symbolic representation of prismatic. As I told you, fused prismatic diffraction. So fused represents the poor and the underdeveloping countries, whereas the prismatic, that is the sorry. So this fused prismatic model, I can tell you, as I told you, it is a poor underdeveloped society, or I can tell you it is a very poorly or underdeveloping area or the country, I can say you. I'm extremely sorry. So I was telling you the fused prismatic model. So this fused is poorly, or the society where you can call it as a bureaucratic or the chamber model. I'll tell you how we can connect that. Then the prismatic, as I told you, it is the Sala. I can call that, I can name that, I can text that name, the word called SALA or Salacracy. Bureaucracy and Salacracy. I will tell you the difference between that. How should we understand in the approachable terms? So this fused or the poorly underdeveloping societies, it is called as bureaucratic or chamber, whereas the prismatic is the sala or the bureau, and the diffracted is the offices, the entirely developed thing. So as I'm trying to explain you about the this prismatic Sala model or the rigs has analyzed the interaction between the administrative system and its environment in the prismatic societies. Yes, somebody has rightly texted. Okay, somebody has texted asking me. Yeah, salacracy and bureaucracy. Actually, I'm very sorry to inform you that, today, because of too many technical glitches, I am unable to continue the class. So tomorrow, with the same topic, with further more clarifications, I will continue the class. And also, I will introduce you with the new topic of development administration. So I'm very sorry for the inconvenience that is created by me today. So I will surely continue the same topic tomorrow. I would compulsorily clear all the doubts of the same topic. So tomorrow also at the same time, 4:30 to 5:30. Yeah, I will share. I will try to share. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Shrija. Okay, thank you so much. I will continue. I will continue the class tomorrow. Thank you for your cooperation. Thank you so much. Have a great evening.